Well, too many babies? Well, President Obama's science czar defending himself against allegations he once backed extreme measures to limit population growth. Dr. John Holdren's office telling Fox, quote, he does not now support and has never supported compulsory abortions, compulsory sterilization, or other coercive approaches to limiting population growth. My next guest says that statement contradicts a book he authored or co-authored some 30-plus years ago. Joining me now, David Fredoso, staff writer at the Washington Examiner. So, David, why didn't this book come up where he and a couple of other authors bounced these ideas around?
Well, it's there, it's in black and white, and I can appreciate the idea that someone would change his mind over the course of 32 years, but he wrote what he wrote. And
what did he write exactly, David? Let's be clear. What did he write? What did he say?
Right. What he said was that the book Ecoscience, published in 1977, written with Paul and Ann Ehrlich, the thesis is that the environmental depredation of the human race on the planet is so great that an overpopulation is such an enormous problem that we must solve it, and pretty much by any means necessary. Not any means, but certainly one thing they write is we would rather have less dramatic, less drastic means used to reduce the population. However, they do talk about some means that are extremely draconian, things like forcing unwed mothers either to abort or marry, things like mass sterilization, state-imposed sterilization, temporary sterilization in some cases. They discuss all of these as viable policy alternatives.
Well, the co-authors have since come out, David, as you probably know, and say, well, these were ideas that were just put out there. It wasn't that neither he nor we advocated. But some of that a society down the road would have to contemplate, but not that any of the authors, the science advisor included, would have contemplated. What do you make of that?
I think it's pretty clear that when you're willing to contemplate, even contemplate stuff like putting a sterilant in the drinking water, something they don't recommend, by the way, but only because of the practical considerations involved, that sort of talk, you're basically taking a completely amoral approach to science in which the end completely justifies the means. I think it's a little bit scary that President Obama chose as his science advisor someone who, at least in this book, appears to take this totally amoral position and doesn't think that there's a place for ethics in science.
Yet he was unanimously confirmed, right?
Well, and usually that happens in the Senate when there's no strong objection to somebody, for a position like this especially. But I think it's a worrying thing, and I think that he has to explain it a little bit better than that.
All right. David Fredoso, thank you very much of the Washington Examiner. It's something the president might have